Good day and welcome to the show. As you know, we always try to bring you exciting talent and individuals, things that benefit you and our community, and things that make our life easier, more fulfilling, and the things that you enjoy most in whatever sphere of activity you engage in. Today's similar to the others in that we have a very talented young man with skills that I admire and knowledge that I envy. And hopefully today we will balance that slate, scale, and he will share some of that knowledge with you and I and alleviate the envy that I feel. Not the good envy now, because envy can be hate too. We're not dealing with that kind of envy, but just the admiration for the young man and his talents and abilities and what he does for communities across the country with his team. So without any further ado, as you know, I'm likely to have him tell you about himself than me try to tell you, because as you all tell me, my guests know themselves better than I do, and I should sit back and let them share. So, Michael, it's great to have you with us on the program today. I'm going to sit back and let you share. We have the awesome Michael Juarez-Thompson with us from Team Unstoppable. He'll explain that to you later. But right now, we're just going to get to know Michael a little bit. And Michael, take it away. Tell us about you, my friend.
Thank you, Mr. Phipps, and you're far too kind, far too kind. In this industry, I'm actually a baby, and you've probably forgotten more than I'll ever know in this industry. So thank you for those kind words, sir. I'm over here blushing. Welcome, everyone, to this amazing platform. I'm very honored and humbled to be here. I'm brought to this amazing platform by a good friend of ours and our business associate, Ms. Kirsten Martin. So thank you, Kirsten, for making this all possible. She's very excited. I met Mr. Phipps earlier in the year and maybe towards the end of last year, pandemic, and he's been nothing but a stand-up guy, gentleman. I know he's very busy, bi-coastal. So I just wanted to say thank you for this opportunity. My name is Michael Thompson. Thank you. My name is Michael Thompson, like Mr. Phipps said, and I'm in the financial industry. I'm an independent licensed broker. I come from a humble background, humble beginnings from Washington, D.C., you know, just a city boy, you know, with the go-go, right? For my D.C. folks out there on the East Coast, I'm East Coast all the way. I just recently transplanted over here to the West Coast, but I grew up in Washington, D.C., PG County. High school basketball player. From there, I went into the Marines, right? So shout out to all my veterans that you heavily support, and everybody out there, you know, past, current, future veterans. I definitely hold you all in high regard. Thank you all for your service. After the Marines, you know, nothing exciting. I started working for an electric company, and you all have probably heard of it over there on the East Coast. You all at a different location, no further up the grid, up north, but it's called PEPCO, the Potomac Electric Power Company. I was there for 7 years, cable splicing, you know, and it paid a lot of money, but I saw casualties, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, in the Marine Corps, 5 years, I never lost a Marine. 2 years at that electric company, I saw two fatalities. And, you know, I was looking around like, whoa, you know, I don't mind serving the community. You know, I'm talking about I don't mind serving the community. Yeah, the shockers. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, electricity knows no boundaries. And it was sad. And I made an exodus. And not knowing when I did that exodus, I started a mad exodus, and everybody followed me to the telephone company. So then I did 17 years at Verizon, formerly Bell Atlantic, formerly C&P, right? Chesapeake Potomac, then Bell Atlantic and Verizon. So 17 years there, I became a manager, team leader. And from there, you know how they do when you're a little long in tooth, I want to say, they try to shuffle you out, Mr. Phipps. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we had a reduction in force, a RIF, and I was smart. I was smart. The great Les Brown said, look, he remembered he was at a job and they were offering people 300,000 to leave, and those people didn't take that money. And he said, I would have went around and signed up for everybody. Let me take your money. Let me take him. I saw the writing on the wall. It wasn't hard. And I took that risk, and I kind of stumbled into the insurance industry. And it was kind of a switch and bait because I thought I was going in for a benefit architect's position, right? They liked my resume. They saw the leadership skills. And, I was hired on the spot. And little did I know that I was going to be a life insurance agent. Now, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know the demographics of this call, but that was never my goal. That was never my intention in life. I was never in first grade, little Mikey, ooh, ooh, ooh. When I grow up, I want to be life insurance agent. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be in this industry. But it's funny because when I finally did get in it to get licensed, I told my grandmother, bless her heart, Hester Groves, she said she was the first African female out of Memphis Life Insurance Company, way back in the late 60s, early 70s. And once I got in, I started seeing what we had to do as an agent, get your policies and the folders together. And then I thought back, I was like, wow, Grandma, I used to have all these folders all over the floor. And she said, yeah, she said, boy, that's a hard occupation. She said, I used to have to, she said, my client is Mr. Phipps. She said, when I used to walk down the street, they would say, here comes Hester, the insurance lady. And they'd be running and hiding and ducking in the cars in the back seat, and she said, the people used to leave their back doors open. She said, picture that, African-American women going in not African-American homes through the back door, getting the money. And I said, wow. She said, it was just $1.50 a week, Mr. Phipps. And she said, baby, you sure you want to do that? I said, Grandma, what you talking about? I said, all I do is sit at the computer, height, weight, date of birth, social security, submit bank information. She said, oh, baby, can I join your team? Right. So I made my grandma proud, Mr. Phipps. And long story short, that was 2015. I got licensed. And here today, I'm a director of one of the largest, most successful teams in the nation. Actually, last month, we hit something, and I'm in equated to you all because y'all up there in Boston. That's Titletown. The Red Sox are actually playing tonight. I know y'all are into that. But Tom Brady, that's y'all boy. We're the Tom Brady of this insurance industry and our IMO, because we've done something that only one other team has ever done it. And we've hit the Super Bowl 12 months in a row, right? And this past month, October, made it 12. But the name of our team, as Mr. Phipps mentioned, is Team Unstoppable. And we're not stopping, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm so passionate about this because it's not just about selling and making money. Money's a byproduct of helping people. And I learned from Zig Ziglar. He said, you help enough people get what they want in life, you're going to always have everything you need. That's why that's why Mr. Phipps is so successful. He's helping thousands of people nationwide. And, I'm just happy and blessed to be a part of this crusade, Living Benefits Crusade. So that's a little bit of background about myself, Mr. Phipps. Sorry to bore you.
No, definitely informative. I was going to say, thanks for acknowledging the pros that keep New England in the limelight. And that's both the Pats and the rest. Now, you coined one of my favorite phrases from Zig, and I remember the exact date, and I don't want to age myself, but it was 1977, July 4th, driving out along West Sahara, listening to Zig, and I heard that piece, and it stuck with me all these years.
Wow, amazing.
You want out of life as long as you help enough other people to get what they want. And just made me emotional just now when you mentioned that.
Absolutely. You just gave me chills, Mr. Phipps.
Absolutely. It's interesting, the path you've taken to this point. As a matter of fact, rather shocking in many ways. We will move beyond that. And interesting, we're going to take a quick break and come back because I want the audience to hear why you do what you do. And you started that discussion when you started talking about mom, your grandmother. So we'll come back and continue that discussion. 2 and 2, we'll be right back at you.
Hi. Can I get the now bar, please?
No problem.
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hi, can I get a now bar, please? Uh-huh.
$1.
Thanks.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
How's it going? Can I get a now bar?
Stop right there!
Thanks for staying with us. I promised you some exciting information. And whenever we talk about money, it is likely to be of benefit. Now, Michael is going to share with us what he does in greater detail and why he does it. And I'm sure that if you listen carefully, there'll be some significant benefit in this conversation for you. So listen, take notes, and if you have questions, we can talk about it later on in the program. Back to you, Mike. Tell us a little bit, you started talking about why you do it, about what you do. I'd like to get some insight as to why and a bit more detail on what and how it helps the people that you relate to across the country.
Absolutely. Great question. Thank you again, Mr. Phipps, for having me. So what I do, ladies and gentlemen, really, I never say I sell, right? Nobody wants to be sold. Nobody wants to really buy anything. Subconsciously, you need something. For example, ladies, I'm not picking on the ladies, but ladies, when you go to the store, Neiman Marcus or Macy's or wherever, you need a red purse to go with that fabulous red gown. As soon as you walk in the door, when that salesperson runs up to you with commission on their breath and say, "Oh, can I show you the purse?" You're like, no, I'm good. Knowing you got dressed to go down there to find that purse, you don't want to be sold, right? So at the end of the day, Mr. Phipps and your esteemed listening audience, I never say I sell life insurance. Why? It's a stigma, especially in our community. And what I'm finding, ladies and gentlemen, it's a stigma in every community. I don't care, African-American, African, Caucasian, Vietnamese. I work with a lot of Asians, and life insurance, as we used to know it, right? As we used to know it, it's a bad taboo. It's a stigma, because think about it. When you think of life insurance, immediately you got to think of death. You can't separate that, right? Traditionally, now I gave a little story about my late great Grandma Hester earlier. And when I told her the revolution of life insurance as we used to know it, she was like, "Oh my goodness," right? She was like, "Michael, that's amazing. You're going to be able to help a lot of people." For example, ladies and gentlemen, I can't see you out there in the listening audience or viewing audience, but how many of you all have the same used to drive when you first got your driver's license, right? When you were 16, 17, 18, how many of you all had that exact same car? Now I remember what mine was. My mom had a 76 Honda Civic, and I tore those gears up, that clutch up driving, right? She don't even have that same car. She didn't have it till after I got my license, bless her heart. But at the end of the day, I say that to say we're always upgrading. How many of you all had the same cell phone as when it came out in 1990 or early 90s, right? How many of you all had the same TV where you used to have to go literally get up off your couch, go across the room and turn the dial? And some of you all might remember that dial was gone. You had device grips and pliers on there, right? So you all see what I'm getting at. You're always upgrading everything, right? Mr. Phipps, I brought back some memories. Right? And so
Yes.
absolutely. And so I say that to say, ladies and gentlemen, we upgrade everything in life. We upgrade everything in life. Cell phones, cars, homes, TVs, some of us spouses, right? But that's another story for another day. And so the life insurance really that you're used to knowing about actually should be called death insurance, ladies and gentlemen. And follow me when I'm getting at. When a person traditionally had a policy, they would do what? Pay monthly, right? Now, life insurance as we know it is the most selfless act that any human being can ever partake in. Why? Because you're literally paying for something that you will never see one penny, one dime, right? Life insurance traditionally only paid out in what? When somebody passed, right? Now, hope you all are sitting down, because what I'm about to tell you is revolutionizing the way Americans are protecting themselves. Now we really have what is called life insurance, meaning if something were to happen to any of our clients, I don't care how long they had the policy, it doesn't matter the face value, how much they're saving monthly. If they become critically, chronic, terminally ill, can't do 2 of the daily 6 activities that render them competent adults. What is that? Bathing, transferring, toiletering, holding continence, bathing, feeding themselves, stuff we take for granted. If they just can't do 2 for 90 days, ladies and gentlemen, they get to accelerate that face value up to 90%, 100% tax-free. I'm gonna say that again for those who missed it. How many of you all during this pandemic, thank God we're seeing the end days of it, how many of you all know people, if you're on social media, that had to put up a GoFundMe? Man, my timeline was flooded with GoFundMes. How many people know somebody that actually had to go into the hospital for COVID, right? Now, God is good. A lot of people were affected. Millions of people were affected. Millions of people didn't die. But could those same people immediately get right back to work? Absolutely not. Number one, they were banned. They had to be quarantined. Some people longer than others. But just think, if those people get released from the hospital, they're fine, right? But they can't go back to work. What is the first thing that's going to come to mind? Oh my goodness, how am I going to pay my mortgage? Oh my goodness, where can I hide my car from the repo man? Oh my goodness, who's going to keep the lights on? The food. You know what I'm talking about, Mr. Fisk?
These are some real challenges for real people, right?
Real challenges, real people. That's why this product, Mr. Phipps, is revolutionizing the way we protect our families, right? For example, we just got back from Vegas, Mr. Phipps. I know you're very familiar with that area. At our convention at the Wynn, there was a lady on stage, bless her heart. She was up there battling stage 4 cancer while the convention was going on, while she was on stage speaking. I can't give her name for legality purposes. Yeah. Absolutely, but she's a member. She was up there battling stage 4 cancer, but she was also standing up there as a millionaire, a newly minted millionaire. Why? Because she had $1 million policy plus, I think it was around $1.3 million. Soon as she got the diagnosis, she called National Life Group, who is our carrier, our financial institution that we work very closly with, and I'll speak about them later. And within 2 weeks, Mr. Phipps, within 2 weeks, they cash deposited $1 million to her account. That's amazing. Now, God is good. She's going through her chemo and treatment, but what does she not have to worry about? She doesn't have to worry about her mortgage. She doesn't have to worry about her lights, the car, the food, little Johnny and Susie in private school, right? Stress is the #1 killer, ladies and gentlemen, silent killer. She doesn't have to stress. She doesn't have to worry about who's going to pay for these very expensive treatments, right? See, a lot of people have cancer insurance, but they don't tell you the fine print that everything isn't covered. So that's the reason I'm so passionate, Mr. Phipps. And my mom's a breast cancer survivor. I talk to everybody about this product because everybody within my listening voice needs this product. Now, you might be sitting there, oh, I have New York Life, or I haven't. I'm not here to throw any other products under the bus, because if you paying that premium, they're going to do what they do, hopefully, right? But most companies, matter of fact, 99% are going to give you the conversation when you call that I have stage 4 cancer. Bless your heart. We're going to pray for you, but call us back when you no longer exist. And that's a heck of an oxymoron, Mr. Phipps. And that's why I'm passionate, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
It's wonderful to be able to be in a position where you can help individuals during their lifetime with resources that somebody else would get normally after they left us. And I think that's phenomenal in terms of that possibility. Now that's what you do. Now, there must be a why that drives you, because I can hear the passion in your voice. I can hear it in your presentation, and I can sense it in your persona. So what drove you, or I know you happened in accidentally, apparently, but something must have drawn you in to help you to develop this great passion you have.
Absolutely. Great question. And thank you for acknowledging the passion. I kind of alluded to it earlier. My mom is a breast cancer survivor, ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
and I saw how it ravaged her body. I was there doing the chemo. You know, I remember the phone call like it was yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, and she called me crying. And my mom's the strongest woman I know, as are most African American women, as are most women, period. You all give life. You know, you birth humans. If it was up to men, come on, Mr. Phipps, this it might be a shortage of people on this earth, right? I'm not putting no babies in my belly, right? But I digress. And right. And when my mom called me crying, ladies and gentlemen, I'm like, Mom, what's like, I've never heard her cry like that ever in my whole life, ever in my whole life. And she called me crying. I'm like, Mom, what's wrong? I said, calm down, please. She said, Mike, I've just been diagnosed with cancer. And I promise you, I felt all my blood just seep out. I almost passed out. I remember I was at work and my coworker, I slumped down and he was like, what's wrong? I said, not right now. And so I excused myself and went and talked to my mom. I said, Mom, what's the prognosis? She said, oh, baby, it's okay. They said, you know, with chemo and a mastectomy, a single mastectomy, I'll be okay. And I'm like, well, what's that? They said, baby, I'm gonna have to remove a breast. I promise you, Mr. Phipps and listener audience, I said, Mom, coming over there with a knife right now. Because at the end of the day, to have my mom still here, and I'm the only child. I don't know if y'all can tell that, but I had no siblings. It was just me and my mom, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. From the time I was 5 years old, she raised me. And I said, Mom, I'm coming over there with a knife right now. We don't need that extra breath. You know, that's in the way. It got to go. And you know, that really made her smile and happy. And that's the passion that drives me. If I can save one mom, one daughter, and I have two daughters, ladies and gentlemen, and both of my two daughters gave me 4 grandbabies, 2 each. So at the end of the day, trust me, I'm here for the long haul. I'm here to educate. And that's what I wanted to say. I got sidetracked when I said, I don't say I sell. All I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, is educating our people, our community, our Americans on a revolutionary way to protect yourself in life, not just death.
You know, you must be reading my mind, Michael. When we talk, you know, just your energy and passion, it exudes. And my thought was, as I looked at setting up this program for the audience, was to come back and talk to you in a minute about how you do it. And you just alluded to it in your last piece of the conversation there by education. So we're going to take a break so that the audience can sort of digest the thoughts, the information you share. And we're going to come right back 2 and 2 and have a conversation with you about that educational process, what it means, how you do it, and how you're able to reach folks, and how you're able to make this unstoppable team grow in a way that makes the educational process so unique, so positive an experience for so many.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
See us dream.
Well,
see us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
What's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death, or one who's found everything to live for? I asked him if he was proud of me. He emphatically said yes, as he laid his pecan-colored head on my chest, and I went through my mind 1,000 times to figure out what that could possibly mean, and every single example ended in motivation for me. So you may not be afraid to die, but I'm more afraid to let them down. And I found something to live for, which is a dangerous motive forever fueled. See, your thoughts may be involuntary, but my actions are very calculated. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. My sons ain't raised by no coward, and they won't be one either. If this be the measure of a man, the yardstick gonna need way more meters. I take it too far, so they never come up short, because I found everything to live for.
Thanks for staying with us. As you know, we try to keep it high energy, exciting, positive, and informative. And today, we're living up to your expectations. I hope that is the case. Mike, we're coming back. We were talking before we went to the break about education. And you know, they say in our communities, if you want to hide something from a person, put it in a book.
Yes, sir.
So let's open that book and see what's inside. Let's talk about how you do this process.
Absolutely. And my mom took it a step further. She said, hide it in the Bible.
That's a very unique book.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, yes, education is the key, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I never say I sell life insurance. Why? Because people will run from you like you have COVID-19 positive, right? And so I just educate. And upon education, like I said, Mr. Phipps, you're a veteran in this industry. I'm still learning. I'm a newbie, 6 years. I'm still new, right? But when you're passionate, when you see how this product can save lives, not just your clients, but your actual colleagues, you know, living agents who have been able to prolong their life, who've been able to prolong their loved ones' lives with this product. The education process is simply just open my mouth and sharing it, right? We have different platforms where you can get the information, but at the end of the day, if you all are interested, you know, I'm sure Mr. Phipps will allow us to give you a link to be able to reach out to get more information. But all I do is educate, and really it's 9 words. It's 9 simple words. It's life insurance you don't have to die to use, right? I hope that's 9. And when you say that, people immediately say, well, what are you talking about? And then when you explain what riders are, when you explain that 1 in 3 men, every 3 minutes, will be diagnosed with cancer. How long has Mr. Phipps been broadcasting today? And ladies, you have it no better. Every 3 minutes, 1 in 2 women somewhere in America. Now, amen, nobody in this listening audience, right? But these are the facts. Bad things happen to good people. Again, if you missed the earlier segment, my mom is a survivor, right? So really just educating and giving those stats, Mr. Phipps.
You know, I had to do some work one time, and it involved some research for the presentation I had to do. And the cancer was part of that discussion. And I share this often because I did not realize how significant it was. In 1900, the turn of the century, 8 people in 100 had challenges with cancer of any kind. In the 2000, the turn of the century coming into where we are now, it was 80 people in every 100. And I keep asking myself, how did we get from 8 in 100, from 8% basically, to 80% in 100 years? That still puzzles me as a topic. So I'm glad that although we, you know, have not seen them implement a solution, cure for this ailment yet, that there are no options for people who may have to deal with it, that they have the resources to be able to manage their situation and extend their lives with fine family members that they would otherwise not have the opportunity to do. So congratulations on being able to share that resource and the education about it. Now, getting back to the education, there are many platforms where education can be gotten. But I understand that your organization, the Unstoppables, do it one-on-one. Is that a correct statement, or can you sort of elaborate on that for me a little bit?
Absolutely. It's always best one-on-one, because here again, we're not selling, you know, vitamin waters, alkaline waters, you know, butt enhancement, you know, Herbalife, any of that. And Mr. Phipps, I like you laughing at all my jokes, my man. I appreciate it. I thought I could sneak that in there.
Yeah, I heard it.
So we're selling a viable product, but more importantly, we're not selling. We're solving for a problem. And you're a very learned man, Mr. Phipps. You know, the bigger the problem you solve, the more money you're going to make. You know, let's keep it real. This industry is $1 trillion industry. It's bigger than food and beverage, cosmetics, you know. And so we're solving problems. We're educating people on revolutionary products. I promise you, for the 6 months, the first 6 months, my career in this industry, Mr. Phipps, I knew nothing about living benefits. I was literally excited to sell death insurance. Now here again, if you don't know, you don't know. I'm from Washington, D.C. The Washington Post slogan is, if you don't get it, you don't get it. I was literally 30 minutes away from one office in Beltsville, Maryland, to another office in Rockville, Maryland, death insurance, and these people's crusade is living life benefits. So listen, you can be the most, read person on this call, but if you don't know, you're ignorant to the fact that there is life insurance out there that you can access while you're alive. And I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, 99% of all your policies and people listening don't have living benefits. Now, I know there's somebody just said, oh, mine has living benefits. If I become terminally ill, I'm gonna get the money. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but terminally ill really doesn't go with living benefits. Terminally ill means the Grim Reaper is somewhere around that corner. He's outside that door, right? Now, God is good. Hopefully they're not going to meet their maker at that point. But facts are facts, ladies and gentlemen. Facts tell, stories sell. Every 40 seconds, somebody's stricken with a heart attack. Every 40 seconds, somebody has a stroke in America. Every 40 seconds, someone is in a critical car crash. Will your life insurance pay out if you're able to call up there and tell them? I'm going to tell you, resounding no. Because if you can still make a phone call, that life insurance is not going to pay out. They're going to tell you, call us back when you're dead. It's an easy education process. They say, Einstein said, if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't know it well enough. And hopefully I just explained it well enough. 9 words, life insurance, you don't have to die to use. Thank you, Mr. Phipps.
No problem. As we work through this amount of information that informs people about benefits for the dollars they spend and how they can sort of prolong their well-being with resources that you make available to them through these specific programs. I'm sure some of the individuals are saying, man, that may be too good to be true. And there's another side that says, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. But in this case, it isn't. It is what it is. It is true, and people benefit. What would you say to the people who are skeptical about exploring the programs that you share, the information you share? I know you've put up a convincing argument so far, but in the event there are some that's thinking it's too good to be true, what would you say to those folks?
First thing I say is bless your heart. That's what my grandma used to say. Bless your heart. Right? At the end of the day, I just said it. If you don't know, now listen, I didn't know. Don't feel bad, right? 6 months I was selling death insurance and I was happy. I was telling people, look, final expense is what we call it, Mr. Phipps. You're familiar. And, you were just getting people enough 30,000 coverage to bury their loved ones respectively, and this 2015, I don't even know if GoFundMe was out. So it was an easy sale then, because then I was really selling. Now I'm educating. Hey, what if this happens? What if this happens? And oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Google this when I get off this call. Inside of these products, that cash is accruing at an exorbitant rate. When I say exorbitant, I'm not talking 0.01% the First National Bank of Boston is getting you or the credit union is giving you. I'm not talking 0.01, 0.09. I'm talking 5% over a screenshot of the last 20 years. I can't say guaranteed because nothing is guaranteed, but it's proven and it's set up, designed to not lose a penny on your principal interest, right? And so not only do you have life insurance you don't have to die to use, well, you're effectively turning yourself into your own bank. Banking is a big business, ladies and gentlemen. Inside of these products, some of them, you can actually accrue wealth. And so when you tell people that, Mr. Phipps, our people and the communities who pretty much for their whole life and several generations have been behind the 8 ball in financial literacy, it's an easy conversation to have. So if you're skeptical, I promise you the story I just told you, lady on stage in Vegas battling stage 4 cancer. Battling stage 4 cancer is a millionaire now. here again, I can't divulge
The name.
her name, right? But I promise you, on everything sacred, these products work. Listen, I can give you several stories of people. Benita Valle. Now, these people I can share because it's on YouTube. Google Benita Valle and her husband, Jovan. Final renal kidney stage, failure. When they say final in your prognosis, normally that's the end. You know, what happens the final game at the buzzer is final. He was able to accelerate 350,000, got the treatment they needed, and now he's alive. And they like saying on stage at convention, she says, you know, this opportunity is going to make me a millionaire one way or the other because now I have $1 million policy on Jovan. Google this, ladies and gentlemen, a larger purpose. One of my colleagues, Evelyn Apani, and her husband, Eric, he is a recipient. He suffered a stroke. Big, strong, burly guy, executive director of a nonprofit, suffered a stroke. He was brought down to a man with the spikes in his head and a walking cane. If it wasn't for the living benefits, number one, he would have lost his job, but number two, he would have lost everything. These are real life stories, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're skeptical, you know, bless your heart. But I promise you, I have facts and stories to back this up. It's a real thing, ladies and gentlemen.
You may want to invite him to the next event so that they can see these stories unfolding.
Absolutely.
That chance will come or soon.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we've talked about a number of things. And it seems as though you've been able to touch on the benefits of the educational program you provide for the communities that we serve. But you also touched on something very important as part of the discussion just now, and financial literacy. Many of us do not have, just Saturday, I'm sorry, we were involved in an event, and two young ladies told one of the gentlemen right after the program words to the effect, I'm embarrassed. I don't even know how to start saving. Everything is so costly. I don't have money to save. I think to myself, you know, if you have money to save. It's just how you manage the money that you have. Now, in many cases, a person may think just like that. How do you address that for the folks you speak to in order to help them to appreciate the long-term benefit of finding money to save, even if it's part of a insurance program that helps them to do so? But the importance of savings and building for tomorrow, because it's going to come with or without us. So take it away.
Absolutely. I like the way you worded that last part. Tomorrow will come with or without us. And you know the old saying, put away for a rainy day. But ladies and gentlemen, if you realize how these products work, you know, if you realize the banking industry, see, the bank is big business. When you're putting money in the bank, they're not just really putting it in the back of that vault. They're investing your money, right? And where they're investing it, actually, if you go look, billions of dollars are invested in life insurance. How many of you all heard of Warren Buffett? You know, I affectionately call him my Uncle Warren because his company, Berkshire Hathaway, is one of our reinsurers, right? So if we were to lose 34 billion in liquid assets, some apocalyptic occurrence happens and National Life Group has to pay out all of their clients. Well, we go to Uncle Warren Buffett and he's a multi-billionaire, right? That's why I'm very secure when I talk about the financial stability of our products and our company. But at the end of the day, it's a known fact that people are building wealth inside of these products. Here again, people are smart nowadays, Mr. Fisk. People are probably Googling right now everything I'm saying. And that's a good thing, right? You got to know.
Google knows everything, right?
Google is everything.
Almost everything.
Almost everything. Google and YouTube is amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's a fact. You know, I can't sit up here. I mean, I have several policies. My mom has an annuity, right? And if you're on the call now, and I'm glad I brought that up and you made me remember, Mr. Fisk, some people may not be eligible for these products, but annuities are big right now. Why? 400,000 people, I'm sorry, $3.4 trillion were lost last year in the stock market. Our policies are here again designed not to lose money on the principal interest. right? How many millions of jobs were lost? How many people 401ks are sitting there taking a hit? People don't know what to do with their 401k and they're spending it and they're getting taxed. We roll non-active 401ks over into annuities. And if you have existing medical conditions, these annuities are designed for everyone. So I would just say, Mr. Phipps, I love what you said. If you have money to spend. These policies, these products, these solutions for your financial freedom, for your welfare are pennies on the day. How many of you all go out there and do the Starbucks, the grand lattes, grande lattes daily? You know, 4 of those, 5 of those less a month will get you a product with living benefits, right? And so I love what you said. If you have money to save. It's all about priorities, right? Life insurance is very difficult to talk about. I get it, but it's way less difficult than being on social media begging for burial money.
You know, we've come a long way, had an interesting discussion, and there's more to come. But so that we leave the audience with a general consensus of the actions they should take, we're going to take a quick break, 2 and 2, and come back and wrap it up with some final thoughts for our audience.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
We might root for different teams, but we all respect the game. And we can all root for each other when we wear a mask. Mask up, America.
We're always appreciative of the time you spend with us, and certainly glad that you've stayed with Mike and I through this program, because I think you would have been able to benefit in a significant way from everything he shared. We're going to recap some of that as part of our final discussion for this program. I don't want to be final, especially in light of the discussion we're having. You know, I would certainly enjoy coming back to talk to you again and sharing with you some of the other talent that we encounter and the benefit that you get from those individuals, including the information they share, as Mike has done unselfishly today. Mike, let's talk a little bit about the experience that most people have, where most people are. And I'm thinking of this in terms of all the statistics that we hear from the actuaries and so forth. You know, they say 65% of the folks do not have enough resources to do anything with it. They're broke, basically. And most people sort of don't want to have the discussion. It's kind of a private thing. Nobody wants to disclose where they are. To some people, it's embarrassing. But I think I would like to, based on information received, that to help people to appreciate there is no such thing as embarrassing. Many people are in a similar position. And unless we start talking about these situations and finding solutions, working through solutions as presented by you and others in the financial area, if it's not attended, it continues to worsen. So let's talk about some of the solutions that you can provide by way of knowledge, education, information to help folks to sort of come out of where they are, seek help, reach out to get the assistance they need to change the dynamics, to change their current financial position, and be able to look forward to a better tomorrow, a brighter tomorrow. And I know insurance does a lot for that, but let's explore information you can share with others through your organization that might make a difference in people's lives.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you again for this opportunity. Yeah. So life insurance, living benefits, real life insurance is definitely a major vehicle where you can build financial wealth for your family. A lot of people don't have it, and a lot of people were turned off by the concept, paying for your whole life or this and that, whatever may have you. But we have also inside of these same products where you can have a tax-free retirement plan. You run into people say, oh, I don't need life insurance. I'm single, I have no children or whatever. But do you want to retire one day? That big house that you bought, do you want to protect that? So we have mortgage protection plans, child's education funds. The children are our future, right, Mr. Phipps? So how are you protecting your children's future, right? Leaving legacy. Hopefully I'm not dating myself, but y'all remember that show Silver Spoons? Now, I know y'all really don't, maybe one or two, but Silver Spoons, really, you can really provide literally a leg up for your next generation with these products. And I promise you, if you do have life insurance, bless your heart. If you do have life insurance, bless your heart. But do you have living benefits, right? Are you going to be able to still function and still get by in life, right? If something were to happen to you, God forbid. So not only is it life insurance, Mr. Phipps, we do tax-free retirement plans, tax-free mortgage protection, children's education plans, tax-free, rollover 401ks to annuity. Everything is tax-free. Y'all hear I keep saying tax-free. And that's how the products pay out, right? Whether it's a final payout, the client passes, or even the accelerated living benefits, tax-free. And so also tax-free withdrawals, tax-free loans. So at the end of the day, not only is it life insurance, but it's a lot of different products. And honestly, if you already have life insurance or death insurance, it's comparably the same amount of money that you're going to be invested into this plan. And I can leave the website. You can go to theteamunstoppable.com, get education, get all the information. And I know Mr. Phipps has ways that he can give you also that information. Thank you, sir.
So let me push another question across the table at you. Now, there's some people say, well, I already have life insurance. Why do I need to explore what information you're sharing? Are comparisons something that you do to help to educate people about their current position?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I love that. And I'm telling you, I know it's 1 million people on this call with 999,000 that do have life insurance. You don't have living benefits. You really don't. I like to compare it, Mr. Phipps, as an old flip phone to a new smartphone, right? The flip phone, when I came home, actually, it wasn't even a flip phone when I came home from the Marines in 1990. It was that big gray brick. You remember that long gray thing with the little tiny face and that long black antenna? Well, that's what I had, right? And I promise you, if you had one today and it has service, it'll probably still work. But what can you do with that death insurance, right? You got to die to get that money. What can you do with that phone? You can make a call, you can receive a call. What if I tell you this product over here with living benefits, not only can you make and receive calls, it's funny, Mr. Phipps, that's the last thing we do with cell phones is talk on them. What is it? It's our calculator, it's our weather guide, for sure it's our GPS, right? Most people, right? It's for sure your GPS. It's your music, it's your Skype, it's your Spotify, it's your computer, the fax scan email, right? That's living benefits as opposed to make and receive calls. So God bless you if you do have insurance. We love talking to the people with insurance. Why? It's an easy conversation. Same amount of money you're paying here to only see that money when you're dead, or same amount over here and to be able to accelerate that money while you're alive. It's an easy conversation to have, Mr. Phipps. I love it because we're helping people, we're educating people, and we're making a nice piece of change while we're doing it. And that's always a win-win.
So I like to say that it makes the process makes you money, but it also makes your clients money. So that's
absolutely
what I call a win-win. Listen, this really has been an exciting and informative conversation. Now, when I think of folks who have opportunities to explore the information we share and still maintain skepticism, it's probably necessary for them to do a little bit more research. But in the meantime, as they do research, time flies, things get more costly, and it's really something that you would encourage them to take action on immediately, or give them the opportunity to continue to research, because sometimes in the research process, you're losing time, your consciousness slips, and things can happen in that window. So it's certainly important that individuals sort of understand the need to be urgent about this process, because the next minute, the next day, the next hour, not promised to any of us, especially in today's world. One other thing, Michael, I was going to ask is, with a job as monumental as this, there are over 365 million people in America. There's probably about, I forgot the number of adults, but bottom line is, when you look at the marketplace where people have this need, it's huge. Now, you have Team Unstoppable, but even for Team Unstoppable to get to 300 million people, 200 million people, there's a lot of, how are you doing this in terms of the marketplace today? How do you expand your reach, if you will, to engage others in this cause, which seems like such a worthy cause?
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Ms. Phipps. We're constantly, while we're educating people, we're constantly looking for people that want more out of life and that want to join the crusade. You said it the best. You're making a little money, but you're making your clients money. At the end of the day, we do pretty well in this industry. Like I said, the financial industry is $1 trillion industry. Look it up. I think the only thing maybe bigger is real estate, maybe real estate. But guess what? All those people buying those homes need life insurance also. So we're able to touch everyone, whether you own a restaurant, right? We're able to help you, realtors. We're able to help a lot of people. But to answer your question, Ms. Phipps, we're always looking to bring new talent on board. It's an easy process. If I pass the test, anybody can pass the test. The most successful people in our company, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, the most successful people in our company don't even speak English as their first language. I promise you, they don't. So it's an easy process. We're always looking to bring on new talent, but really you have to have the heart to want to help people, right? If you're that lady that chases every person that crosses the door, Neiman Marcus or Macy's, and you're just doing it for commission, it's going to be a long and lonely road, because people understand that their livelihood, their financial freedom is paramount. Why? Because if you ask anybody what's most important to them, they're going to say their family. So you just can't rush up and try to sound like a salesman. I'm not going to say what particular industry salesman, but you've all ran across sleazy salesmen before. Listen, if you sell with your heart, right? If you really are trying to help people and you let them know that you care, right? What did Maxwell say? People don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. When you sit down and explain, facts tell, stories sell. When you can give them a story, put them in the story to relatable to them, you can be successful here, right? The most successful people in this company don't look like me. They don't talk like me. Most of them are immigrants. Most of them don't speak English as their first language, but we're looking for everybody to join this crusade. And we would love for you to be on Team Unstoppable, right? Why not join a winning team in a crucial time, ladies and gentlemen? I like to say I'm a part of this at the right time with the right people doing the right thing, and just for the right cause. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Phipps.
You're welcome, my friend. I will close out with a note. I have a dear friend I've known for many years, and he said when he started taking the first test he took for his entry into financial services, the Prudential Building Foundation was being laid. And he said, it's Took him a couple of years, but by the time he passed the test, the building was complete. So there is hope.
There is hope. If you don't quit,
There is hope.
it's possible. It's possible.
Listen, we appreciate you coming on today and sharing, with your passion and energy, the possibilities for some of the folks all of the folks that was able to hear your message and take action behind it, whether they look out for some of the resources that you offer, or they look out to join the team in terms of the crusade that you're on to help families in America and the communities you serve. And we're proud of the work you do. And we're glad we're able to share it, highlight it. And thanks for coming on. And we look forward to your return and, sharing with us some of the results that occurred and other stories that influence the lives of those who act on the information you share.
Absolutely. Here again, thank you so much. I'm very humbled to be on here. And hopefully I touched somebody, the light bulb went off like, hey, I remember getting up, running across the floor, changing that TV dial. Now I sit back with a smart TV and I just say, Siri, put on Days of Our Lives. You know what I'm talking about? At the end of the day, everything gets upgraded. And so this is no different. Thank you, Mr. Phipps. I'm honored to be on here, my friend, and good to see you. And I look forward, if you want me back, I'm always available for you. You know that.
Michael, I'm sure to do it. So I look forward to having you back and some updates. And thanks for being here today. Thanks for sharing with the audience. And as you know, we'll continue to bring the best, the brightest, and hopefully at the end of the program, you will have walked away or taken benefit, something good and exciting from the information we share. Until next time, enjoy life, be safe, and we'll talk to you soon again.
God bless.